Are you ready to sign ASL? Let's get you ready. ASL is a manual language, and so it's actually a lot different from a spoken language. ASL requires motor skills. It requires both gross motor skills and fine motor skills. Signing is like any other physical skill. You probably never thought about that before. I know I hadn't, but signing is like any other physical skill, like dancing or skiing, because it takes some time to learn to use your body in a different way. So if you think about, someone who's really good at dancing, they might not actually be great at skiing and vice versa. So anytime you're learning a new physical skill, it can be a little awkward until you get, till you learn it, till you get the smoothness down. And ASL is basically just like that. So be patient with yourself. Our ASL class is a special place because it's the perfect place to make mistakes. Mistakes are welcome. Mistakes are good. Mistakes give you an opportunity to get good at it, right? So I want you to remember that in ASL class, we will learn, we will have fun, we will make mistakes, we will ask each other for help. We will also get to know each other. The purpose, or one of the side effects, I think, of practicing a language is that you end up making friends and getting to know other people because you're practicing things like, where are you from? Do you have brothers and sisters? So it's actually a really fun place, our ASL class. It's a safe place to ask questions. It's a safe place to misunderstand something, and it's a safe place to feel a little silly. It will be a place of respect. That is very important to me because you can't learn without respect. So another last point on mistakes is that mistakes mean you're learning and mistakes mean you're trying. So mistakes are good. So as I said, our ASL class is a safe place for mistakes. It's also a safe place for correction, okay? You're here to learn how to sign correctly, right? And so I will be helping you do that. And I want you to remember that corrections are never personal. If you do this and I say, oh no, it's this hand shape, that's nothing personal. It's all about the sign. It's nothing about you. And I also want you to know that I will never be nitpicky. I will only correct what matters. All right. If you do this instead of this, it's fine. It means the same thing. But if you do something that means something else, I will let you know. Let's see. I also want to make sure that you know that I will always correct with respect. And if you feel that that's not the case, please let me know. It is very, very important to me that I correct with respect and that you feel like I'm correcting with respect. And again, I'm not going to be nitpicky. It's not going to be a big deal. All right. Lastly, 3 things to know before you start signing. Number 1, repetition. Repetition is vital to learning ASL. And the reason for that is because signing is a physical activity, smooth and fluid signs are a result of muscle memory, just like dancing or skiing, right? You might start skiing for the first time and be all over the place. And then once you figure out how to do it, and I say that as a non-skier, just so you know, I skied once and I was terrible at it. Okay. So, but once you figure out how to like rein it all in, so your skis aren't going this way, right? Then that muscle, you're training your muscles and you're achieving muscle memory. Your muscles figure out what to do. And your muscles figure out what to do through repetition and practice. And so that is going to be vital to learning ASL. Number 2 is handedness. You might think, how do I start? What do I do? Sign with your dominant hand. Your dominant hand always does the moving. You'll probably hear me say that 1,000 times this semester. For signs using 2 hands, your non-dominant hand will take a supporting role, but your dominant hand will do the leading. If you're ambidextrous, meaning you're equally comfortable with both hands, just pick a dominant hand, but stick with your choice. All right, last thing to know before you start signing is that eye contact is absolutely vital in ASL. If you aren't looking, you aren't listening. If you have to break eye contact, you can sign hold on or hold on. That's a polite way to do it. Now, for some people, eye contact is actually not an easy thing. Like I struggle with it when I'm making videos because I don't have a person to look at. But and sometimes people who are shy or come from cultures where making eye contact is not, respectful, eye contact can be a hard thing to get used to. But just remember that if it's difficult for you, just practice, right? Eye contact could be like practicing signing or practicing skiing or dancing or anything else you would be practicing. Practice eye contact if it's hard for you. I suggest that you just pretend that when you're in ASL world, that you're in a whole new world where all the normal things that you're used to aren't really the same. And if you imagine that, actually that's more truth than fiction. So you will probably be in a pretty good place for understanding signs, producing signs, having respectful eye contact, and being aware of deaf culture, which we'll learn more about. All right, so now now you're ready to start signing.